The Science of Why Customers Buy by Lean Foundry. Hello, my name is Chris Athanas. I'm a KMP developer. Tech support said they're coming out Tuesday. They're going to close it up for us. And then the complaints can stop. I'm going to make my thing a little bigger here. And the complaints can stop. Okay, we're going to be reviewing a video here from Ashmeyer, which I like his other stuff, but I don't like this lean. I've already said the connotation with lean is like you have to be starving. Oh, I have to starve for my art. It's like, no, man. They need a different title. I prefer the adventure-driven approach, which I've done a series of videos on and lots of examples in a document. You can go look at it and after this. Maybe I'll leave a link in the doodly-doo.
When it comes to describing why customers buy your product, many founders think they know, but this quote from Peter Drucker captures the reality.
Yeah. The customer really buys what the customer thinks it's like. That has been the case because of the egos involved with the people and what's been promoted and marketed as the reason. And it's a little bit of trade secret because what was it, Edward Bernays, how he sells stuff, how we're not really selling the thing, we're selling this other thing, and that just happens to be the replacement good for that thing. Let's keep going.
The customer rarely buys what the company thinks it's selling it. Unlocking why and how people buy your product is the key to unlocking more
Yeah,
sales.
for sure. Whatever they're, because you're meeting their needs, they're meeting their problem space. It's just nuts. Like, just even attempt to try and do that, and you're trying to meet their problem space and do it with your skill set and something you want to think with, and try to make money with whatever you want, however you want to risk spending your time on other as opposed to the opportunity cost of anything else. Let's keep going.
And so in this video, I'm going to share a blueprint for doing exactly that.
All right.
So let's dive in. Hi there. If you're new to this channel, my name is Ash Moria. I'm an entrepreneur and author and the creator of the popular one-page business modeling tool, Lean Canvas. On this channel, I share systematic strategies and...
All right, yeah, go check his channel out. Go give him like a
So here's a thought exercise for you. Have you ever described a purchase as an impulse buy to a friend, where it seemingly happened so quickly and randomly that you didn't know what was going on? Well, here's the thing, though. There is no such thing as an impulse purchase.
I live in Tepoztlan, and the whole thing is lined with streets with all kinds of stuff for impulse. It's like the main economy here. So let's keep going.
Behind every customer purchase is a string of causal events and forces that logically explain how and why customers behave the way they do.
Okay,
You can map these events and forces using the customer forces blueprint, which is a behavioral model I created that was heavily influenced by the work of Clayton Christensen and Bob Moesta on the theory.
I don't know those guys. I'm gonna have to go look at them. This guy's usually on point so far. Everything he's said is like you can verify personally myself, or I know that he's talking the right stuff because of my experience, etc. Doing similar things. Let's keep going.
Of jobs to be done. Here's what it looks like. Think of this blueprint as a customer journey that describes how customers select, evaluate, and use products to get certain jobs done in their lives. Okay. Unlike typical customer journey maps that can span multiple pages and get quite complex quickly, this blueprint uses only six.
Okay, six: a triggering event, desired outcomes, push forces, pull forces, inertia, friction. All right, I haven't seen this model yet. This is interesting. When did this come? A month ago? Okay, let's keep going.
Building blocks or insights to describe the customer journey. Customers start at the bottom of the hill, and triggering events and desired outcomes shape the job the customer is trying to do or the outcome they're trying to achieve.
Right. Yeah, there's all kinds of triggering events. Just being on customer support and not getting your thing done is enough to like motivate people just to initially just like, okay, I'm now looking for something else. That level.
And as they make their way to the top of the hill, four forces, push, pull, inertia, and friction, shape the decisions they make through the buying journey. Now, all this may still sound pretty foreign to you now.
No, I like it. I like it so far. It totally makes sense. And I'm seeing what you're putting down.
To make this more concrete, I'm going to illustrate this blueprint in action using what looks on the surface like a seemingly impulsive buy. It's 6 a.m. on a Wednesday when Mark's alarm goes off. As he reaches over to turn it off,
these events happen, right? It does seem like there's impulsive events, but a lot of times these buys that people are looking for, events have happened for so many times they're just looking around, and because it takes time and money and energy to like get your product or service in front of people, they may never find it by the time they may never find your thing by the time you can survive long. So that's the game, right? And then also, is your thing going to give them what they want, or is you just cheating them. You're just meeting their sales objections and giving them something that's just not good enough to meet muster. Or have you actually found something that's can really enhance their thing, and you've done it in a way that makes it so their life is actually easier, not harder. Let's keep
He
going.
sees that his partner Mary is
Or
already
funner, or cheaper, or whatever the ways you were trying to do your product.
awake. He excitedly tells her, "Honey, I ordered a mattress last night. It will be here in a few days." So here's a mystery to solve. How, and more importantly, why does someone purchase a mattress in the middle of the night?
Because
This
they're
looks like an impulsive
uncomfortable.
purchase, but there's nothing impulsive about it.
No,
To
absolutely
solve
not.
this mystery, we need to go back a few nights to understand what actually happened.
Let's hear it happen.
So now it's
Must
2
speed up a
a.m.
little.
on Monday, and Mark wakes up in the middle of the night. As the next day is a work day, all he wants to do is go back to sleep and get a good night's rest.
Yeah.
This unexpected triggering event of waking up and the desired outcome of wanting to go back to sleep shaped Mark's job to be done, shown here as push, which we can write out as when it's 2 a.m. on a work night and I can...
Right, it's pushing them into looking for something new, because like something's bothering them so much that now, whether that gradient is high or low, it's unknown. But like whether they to get something new, it might be like I can't afford anything new, so it's going to be a low slope, so I can just find little things around me, or I can afford something more better rather than the slope. They're willing to go up earth more. I think that's the whole idea, is like, or you try and make that slope of the push, so once they want to do a new mattress, they've heard about your mattress somehow, and they're more willing to go to something they've already heard. That's also like the slope gets lower. I think that's where the metaphor is going.
and sleep, I just want to go back to sleep so I can be productive at work the next day. Now, like most people, the thought of buying a mattress never enters Mark's mind at this point. He already has what he thinks is a perfectly good mattress, and so he decides to just try and go back to sleep. He tosses and turns for the next 2 hours and eventually dozes off at 4 a.m., only to be rudely awakened by his alarm clock at 6 a.m. As he feared, he wakes up in a bad mood and is tired at work.
Yeah.
This is not a desired outcome, but an undesired outcome. The next night, like clockwork, the exact same thing happens. It's 2 a.m. on a Tuesday, and he wakes up in the middle of the night. He doesn't want a repeat of another sleepless night and another miserable workday, so this time he decides to take a sleeping pill. And now there's a new force in play. The appeal or pull of the sleeping pill is that it will get him to fall asleep faster.
Okay, so there's the push. There's something pushing him into some solution, and he's going to use this array of solutions that he's heard of or going to try. Everybody's going to try them all, because that's what we've been told. Because one of them might work, right?
Sure enough, the sleeping pill works, and it takes just 30 minutes for Mark to be deep asleep. However, the pill also makes him sleep through his alarm clock, and so he misses his morning workout at the gym. This too isn't a desired outcome, but an undesired outcome. On the third night, before going to bed, Mark briefly considers taking a sleeping pill, but talks himself out of it, hoping he'll be able to sleep through the night. But nope, the same thing happens. It's 2 a.m. and he's staring at the ceiling. Now, he doesn't want to take a sleeping pill at that hour again, so he pulls out his phone. He types how to fall asleep into the search bar, but nothing interesting or useful comes up, so he eventually ends up scrolling on Instagram. That's when a sponsored post catches his attention with the headline, "Can't Sleep," and there's a link below to a live event in progress. So Mark clicks through.
Oh, snap. That's pretty smart.
There's a guy in a spacesuit talking about how NASA invented memory foam to keep test pilots cushioned during flights, and how now it's being used in a new mattress to provide the best possible
I'm going to
sleep.
try to
Then
speed
the
up
host
a
comes
little.
on and starts talking about the benefits of memory foam over spring coil mattresses, like how it contours to your body and it evenly distributes your weight, leading to a more comfortable sleep. Or how it isolates motion, so if your partner moves around, you're less likely to be woken up, and how it's particularly good for side sleepers, which of course Mark is. The pull of a better mattress has Mark wondering whether a memory foam mattress is the solution to his sleep problem.
Right, and he's not going to know until he tries. So that's the other thing too about this stuff, is you have to do sales. That's why I put that link up for that debate course, because if you're going to be doing development in the 2020s, you're going to have to do some sales work, which means just debating and talking about supporting your arguments and letting people know about your stuff, the benefits of it, and your rhetoric is also going to be a part of that thing, where you have to talk about these things and using grammar and logic together to form your rhetoric. It's just how it is. I know it sucks, but it's not that bad. It just sucks in the beginning because you're so rough. But if you do it a bunch, it starts to get a little easier. Let's keep going.
His mattress, which was perfectly good a few moments ago, is starting to look suspect. Now, this is a pivotal moment in the story where a prospect starts doubting their old way and considers switching to a new way. But then some new thoughts enter his mind and start to talk him out of it. He already has a mattress, which isn't all that old. Is a new mattress really necessary? He also remembers that he lives on the third floor of an apartment building. How will he get the mattress out of his apartment? More importantly, how will he get rid of it?
I call
Can he
that,
just
like,
donate
maybe
it
to
to
call
the
it
trash
friction?
pickup people even accept a mattress? These thoughts are all examples of inertia, a detractive force that
Inertia,
discourages
okay.
us
Yeah.
from buying new things.
Pulls
In
back
addition to
down.
inertia, you'll often find another detractive force.
I mean, we call it gravity. pulling them back into the just previous thing. I wouldn't call it inertia. I would call it gravity. Let's keep going.
which I label here as friction, this force represents anxieties or open questions about a new solution. Whenever
Also, the hill, the level of the hill. Is that the clue in the friction? I guess it's sort of friction and the level of the hill. It's the same. Causes you have to go through a series of gates to get, for them to get to your solution.
we consider buying a new product, there is always some uncertainty, anxiety, or risk associated with adopting a new solution.
Right. That's why you gotta have money back guarantees and all that kind of stuff. Super important. Even if people use it or abuse it, without it, you wouldn't have those customers anyway. So that's the other side too. It's like, okay, if you put a money back guarantee, there's a set of customers that will come in that wouldn't have come in anyway. That would not have come in without that thing. And there's going to be some of the customers who are going to use and cheat that system, but there's going to be more that come in that don't. You have to do the calculation. The number of people that are going to cheat the money back thing versus how many people are going to come in with that money thing, and they have no intention to use it. They just want to make sure your product is actually does what it says. Keep going.
When it's significantly different from what we are used to. Questions like, does memory foam actually work? How much does it cost? And how will I carry it up 3 floors? Enter his mind. The stage for the battle of the forces is now set.
So there's the objections. You have to meet all the objections, whatever those objections are. And the only way you're going to find that out is to talk to the customers. It's actually really fun to talk to customers. I don't know where this idea of like talking to the people you're going to make a product for, why that's such a dangerous thing, or is it terrible or horrible to do. It's fun. You're talking to people who you're interested in their problem, and you're going to try it for money. Everybody knows we're going to do this for money. We're not doing it for charity. We're going to solve their problem that they're interested in their way, potentially in their way. And you care about them and you're listening to them, unlike the customer service that just told them they have to call back in 3 days later because they have a 3-day weekend and we're closed. Let's keep going.
Will Mark buy the mattress? The answer isn't arbitrary or random, but determined by how the physics of these forces play out. At this point, the answer is no.
Okay, I can see this. That's a good way of looking at it. I can see it.
The detractor forces of inertia and friction are still greater than the attractor forces of push and pull. But remember, the infomercial is still running. Then the testimonials start, and the host asks people to start telling stories about their experiences.
These are just some different ways of buttressing your argument. This is appeal to the crowd, or there's all kinds of different ways of buttressing your argument. Some of them are fallacious. Let's keep going.
Mattresses. And as if they can read Mark's mind, they start addressing each
sales. It's a debate. It's blood sport debate. Ultimately, you do want to help these people. You want to hopefully your heart's in a good place. You have some good ethics, because that's another thing that's going to be important in the 20s. There's a way to differentiate yourself is that you're ethical. Have to treat your customers ethically. That's now a selling point, because people are so sick of these companies eking out every little 10th penny per 20% by selling them out and doing unethical practice. But there's nobody else in the field, so what else is there to do? They're stuck with these unethical cretins if you want to use the tech. And it was like, didn't start out like that, but it definitely turned into that. Let's keep going.
Each of his objections with surgical precision. I
was saying that's a competitive advantage. It's low-hanging fruit competitive advantage. Like, we don't sell your shit, man. And we can like somehow prove it, like independently verified or whatever, but I don't know, we just don't sell your stuff. We just won't do that. We won't ever do it. And we don't believe in it. Let's keep going.
Tells a story about randomly waking up in the middle of the night until they switch to a memory foam mattress, and now they can sleep through the night.
All right, so you're meeting their objections without them actually being present.
Other person raves about the mattress's delivery service. Not only is shipping.
All right, so this discovery of this process has to happen by someone actually talking to it. Then after talking to it, you have the 80%, the top 20% of all the 80% of the things that people talked about is going to be a repetitive thing over and over and over again. So you take those, and then this is how you make a presentation where it's a YouTube where you've met those objections because you've already even talked to a bunch of people live. You just don't jump to this. This is a iterative process, not just for the mattress, silly, for your thing.
Free, but it also includes white glove setup. They'll deliver the mattress to your home, place it on your bed, and if you'd like, even take your old mattress away.
That's
now, in
awesome.
case you're wondering what they did with it, depending on the state of the mattress, they either donate it or send it to a recycling facility where it's dismantled and recycled into new products such as carpet padding, insulation, or even mulch. And there's even someone who talks about sleeping pills. They use sleeping pills to solve their.
See, they already made, so all objections are all being met. This sales is just meeting objections and people thinking about, what about this? What about that? It's like answering, saying. And if you go through the gauntlet, and then you've met all the objections, what else is there? Well, then there's the price and, all the fees and financing and all that stuff. But after that, it's like, okay, well, you met all the objections, you win. So, that's how it works.
But didn't consider it.
But there's been this phase in American culture where the objections in words, but not actually following it through. all these Ponzi schemes, MLM schemes, all that stuff like that, has burned people. So it has to be overly emphasized that you got to be ethical with this stuff if you're going to be successful, and you will have that will be a major competitive differentiator because people are so sick of this shit.
healthy after a while, and so this story positioned the memory foam mattress as a healthy option to taking sleeping pills. Just then, the host comes on and adds, and don't forget about our 365-day sleep guarantee. You get to try the mattress for an entire year, and if you don't love it at any point, we'll come back to your place, pick it up, and give you a full refund.
Right. And see, so some people are going to abuse that. Yes. Some people are going to get away with it. Ooh. But there's a whole other set of people who aren't going to do that. That would not have come and wouldn't even try your stuff out without that in place. And you have to do that calculation. Can we ethical enough that we can back our shit up, that we believe in it enough that we can do that? Because you will get a set of people coming in that'll just try. Those are the early adopters. But the other set, I think it's always going to be much bigger. They want to have that guarantee. They're going to forget about it after they're on the bed. And they're going to use it, and they're going to feel bad if they cheat you. Like most people are going to feel bad if they cheat you out. But there's going to be a set of people. Is it 10%, 5%, 20%? Who knows? Depends on how good your product is. How much that you've been not lied to them, etc. And it's just gonna be a set of scammers anyway. They're gonna abuse it. That's just, you gotta have systems in place to kind of detect that. If like he buys and buys it again, buys it again, buys it again, no man, we just cut that guy off. You can cut people off, it's okay. But but do you want to dick with it? Do you want to spend your time on that as opposed to meeting the objections of other customers and just writing that off, putting that as cost of business?
And then there's the special price offer for today only, 40% off the mattress and 2 free memory foam pillows. This stacking of value breaks the camel's back, and Mark caves in. He pulls.
Yeah, I mean that's you've already at that point, if they've gone through all the objections, you've met them all properly. By that time, yeah, you're kind of pushing them over the edge. And just put it in the cost.
Pulls out his credit card and buys the mattress.
And this is all an iterative process, by the way. This isn't just like we're just gonna plan it out and that's it. We're gonna have a marketing expert come in. It's like, no, you got to get in there. Whoever's involved, you have to be talking to people all the time about all the things and then just give them a discount or somehow get them in the process and get in the sales funnel to loop. I know we're software developers. I know we want to be typey cody, but like meeting the customer. This is how these businesses are created. It's not just the typey cody. It's this other stuff.
Mattress, and this is how we end up with, honey, I bought a mattress last night, it'll be here in a few days. So while this seemed like an impulsive purchase, it can be explained as a series of causal events and forces that influence Mark's decision to buy a new mattress. This purchase wasn't rational or random, but systematic and predictable.
I see. Well, the funnel is, and just knowing how people are come through, and by having market analysis about looking some niche that you're interested in, or you found somebody who found a niche, and you can talk to this person and you agree that there's a niche there, and you want to spend your life energy on doing this, taking a crazy chance on this thing, because it's probably not going to fail. But what happens if it's not going to fail? What happens if you can prove it ahead of time and realize we're going to have to do this kind of stuff and get people on an email list before you even write a line of code and get involved with making the website, all that other technical details, domain, and all that stuff. That all has to happen too.
The new mattress company's ad and infomercial weren't random either.
And that's coding, by the way. I just want to make sure everyone's clear about that. That's still coding, and a way to validate your idea before you risk it all. That's a small risk of making the website and the domain and putting it out there and seeing if people are even interested at all by having email lists and then showing the features. Maybe mock up the screens. Maybe actually maybe hire a designer and actually do the screens. Let's keep going.
The company carefully researched how and why people buy mattresses and then placed their offer at the most opportune time of day in the middle of the night when people can't sleep. Of course, the story doesn't end here. Buying a product is the first step. Deciding to keep it and then telling others about it is how good products grow.
Yeah.
Also use the customer.
This is a great presentation. I really like his work, Ash. You're doing great. You actually know your shit.
And these parts of the customer journey and build effective onboarding, retention, and even referral programs. I describe how to do all this in my book, Running Lean, so if you're interested in learning more, you can check it out there. I'll link that and some additional.
All right, yeah, you can go over check his site. Yeah, I like the review. I mostly agree. I would probably change the inertia to gravity. But other than that, that's pretty close to what you have to do if you're doing a startup. You're doing something, creating something new from nothing. You're gonna have to do all those moves. It's like once you understand the structure, having a structure in place, helps you understand what the customer is looking for, what they're how they want it to be presented to them. And in every industry and every niche can be different. All right, give me a like and subscribe. I'll talk to you soon.